Hello everyone and welcome back to Chef Russian Cooking Blog. We're going to do something here tonight that's sort of original because a lot of people don't know really much about it. It's fish pie. It's going to be halibut fish pie, of course. You can make it with cod, you can make it with tilapia, but it doesn't taste the same. There's a lot of stuff that you guys missed. One was making the pie crust, which is really simple, really easy to make. Just go to any website and look up pie crust, and there you go. There's a lot of flouring, there's a lot of kneading, there's a lot of rolling out to do and whatnot, so just to eliminate the entire process of that, we already had it ready. I got it ready to go, cleaned up the mess and whatnot, and just let them sit out at room temp for a bit, let them get nice and warm. It's just going to be a small piece of halibut here. It's just me and my dad. Fresh halibut. Now, they took the skin off. Ask for the skin on when you get this. You want the skin on because we're gonna put it the way that you're supposed to do it, with the skin side up. And because of that, the skin is supposed to keep the moisture inside. But they took the skin off before we could say anything, so oh well, it doesn't matter. It's still gonna have great flavor. It's real simple and easy to make. Now we cooked up our rice ahead of time. Use your best judgment. I cooked about 4 cups of rice about 2 hours ago. It's still really warm. You want to fluff it up with a fork. That way it keeps it from being all gooey or mushy. At least you want it gooey. That way it sticks together once it's all done. And then we minced up some onion here. I'm probably not going to use all this onion. I'm not going to use all the rice either. Doesn't matter. You want to cook more. You want to dice up more than you need. That way you can overcompensate for everything. You can always put stuff back in the fridge and use it for something else as well. Normally this is done in a pie pan, but like I said, it's just me and my dad. So real small, simple, easy to make. You don't have to grease it. I greased it because honestly this is my first time doing fish pie by myself. So I know the recipe, I've seen it done thousands of times, and I've ate it thousands of times growing up. But I just want to be prepared. So if you're not too certain, grease it up a little bit, doesn't really matter. Carefully take your pie crust. Ugh. Now the pie crust that I use is kind of like Betty Crocker. So you have to refrigerate it. And then you have to put a slab of butter in between it, like frozen butter in it, and then roll it out really hard. Fold it, roll it, fold it. That way it's nice and flaky, because I love flaky pie crust. Get off there. It's going to fall apart, of course. It's going to fall in. It's okay. You just mash it down to where you need it. Luckily, dough melts together, so it's okay. You can mold it. I hope you're all sticking with me. Real simple and easy to make. This is actually it's easier to make than candy. Sort of. Actually, yeah, sort of. In any case, don't worry about it looking pretty, because that's what sauces are for. I'm not saying I'm going to add a sauce to this, but when it comes to a lot of food, you have to realize that it all comes down to the end result, just like cake. Why do you think there's frosting on cake? If you mess up a cake, you can put frosting on it. It looks great. No one's going to know it's uneven until they eat it. More importantly, folks, just have fun doing it. You got to come out your comfort zone. Anyone can cook, anyone can bake, anyone can create awesome, beautiful things. Just take someone to show us the way. That's all. So we have it mostly covered here. I want it all covered, but don't want to waste anyone's time here, and that's good enough for me. Gonna poke holes in the bottom with the fork. This is to keep air bubbles from creating. Also on the sides as well. I already know. I'm pretty sure there's family out there that's gonna tons of family out there that's going to tell me that I'm doing it wrong or I'm doing it differently. But you know what? This is my way of doing it, okay? And I know it's going to turn out because I just believe in it. So we have this. We're not going to bake it. We're going to throw some rice in here. Caution, rice is still hot/warm. About enough to cover 1/4 of the bottom. I love this music. I love guitars. So there we are. Dough, rice, about a fourth, maybe a third actually, of the bottom. But before we add the halibut here, salt, pepper, not too much, because people can season it to how they prefer it. Butter, about a couple dabs here, spread it out. Sorry. Minced onion, not too much. Just enough to cover it. And then our fresh store-bought piece of halibut here. Oh my god. Ooh, I wish you can smell it. Just now, this is fresh halibut, as it should be when you eat it. This is like I can break a piece off and eat it. That's what halibut is. It's a beautiful piece of fish. You don't ever want to overdo halibut, okay? This would be the skin normally. Luckily enough that there's a tension between the skin and the meat that there's still a barrier on it, so I'm still going to put it skin side down, I guess you would say it would be. Rest that right on top. A little bit of salt, not too much. You don't ever want to overpower halibut because it's got a beautiful flavor. A little bit of pepper. Some rice, of course. Yeah, you don't ever want to overpower halibut. So if you see cooks and chefs cook up halibut and they just salt and pepper it and butter it and whatnot and they cook it for like 30 seconds, you're like, oh my god, it's still raw. No, they're doing justice to the piece of fish, alright? You don't ever want to overcook halibut. You don't want to overcomplicate halibut. It's just a beautiful piece of fish. You can eat it raw. I've been on some boats. I know my family's been on boats more than I have and whatnot, and gone fishing and boating and whatnot for fresh halibut. And you pick it up. Sometimes you gut it open, and then some of us just eat the halibut, right there on the boat. And it's just that gorgeous. Probably why halibut's really expensive. So same process. Butter. Pepper. Not too much, because everyone has their own preferences, so they can season it later after it's done. Salt, of course. Minced onion. Not too much. Just enough to add a little bit of nice flavor to it. Oh my god, folks, we're gonna have homemade fish pie here. You want to take your top crust carefully. I know there's a lot of people out there going, I've never, ever heard of fish pie before. What you want to do is you want to press it down so it connects with the other dough. You're going to have a bit of a bulge here, it's okay. A lot of people are like, what do you do with the excess amount of dough? That's okay. There you are. Just meld those two pieces of dough together. That way it creates a nice vacuum. And there you go. If you stretch it out too much, you can take this excess dough here, cover up those holes, which is kind of redundant, and you'll see why in a bit, but still it serves its purpose. Like I said, it doesn't really matter about looking pretty, because you can always make it look pretty later with different techniques. I'm not going to show you them tonight because just a quick family dinner, real simple and easy to make, you know. If you don't want to make the pie crust, you can buy pie crust from the store or whatever, it doesn't matter. I have the oven preheated to 350, which we're going to bake it at for about 45 minutes until it's done. The reason why I say it was kind of redundant is because we're going to create some slits really quick. First off, I know a lot of people use milk, a lot of people use egg yolk. I'm just going to take some butter. Because I know my mom would. Like I said, I've seen her do it thousands of times. Actually, though, even though my mom would make it, my dad's the one that showed her how to do it because of my grandma. One, two, three. Alright folks, there it is. Homemade fish pie with halibut. You can use tilapia, you can use cod. I hope that was simple, I hope it was easy. If you have any questions, just ask me. I'm going to bake it up here in the oven. Going to find something to make with it, like biscuits or something. And then we'll show you the final product. Thank you very much, and stay shiny, and please keep hungry.